what he wanted to do with his future.
Yeah.
And he told me that he wanted to be a pro baseball player.
Hello and welcome to Blue Jays Today, where we always have something to say about the Blue Jays. I'm your host, Adam Peddle.
And I'm your host, Nicholas Playlock. And today we have a super exciting episode for you guys. We are going to be having a little bit of a phone interview with Christopher Martin, the father of our current number one rated prospect from the Toronto Blue Jays, and that is Austin Martin, our 5th overall draft pick this year. We're super excited to talk to this guy. Before we get into it, guys, please make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below about anything Blue Jays.
All right, let's give him a call.
Let's give him a call, my friend.
Hello?
Hi, Chris. How's it going, man?
I'm good. How's it going?
It's good, man. We are currently filming for the podcast right now.
And we'd just like to say...
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. Just like to say thank you for coming on. We really appreciate, bringing in a kind of insider, a look to our fans out there to see just the little details of, what is the Toronto Blue Jays.
Well, and also, too, a bit of a thank you, not only for just coming on to the podcast, but you've been, one of our kind of original supporters so far. So, thank you so much for even just taking note of us and watching our stuff. It really means a lot, man.
Oh, absolutely. I like your content.
Thank you. Really appreciate that. So we want to get the audience to really know about who you are, Chris. So tell us a little bit about what you do, where you come from, where are you living right now. Tell us who Chris Martin is.
Yeah, man. We've heard so much about Austin, but I want to hear about you.
Well, originally I was born in St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands, but I currently reside between Jacksonville and Lakeland.
Mm-hmm.
And I work for the government. I'm an air traffic controller.
Cool.
And, that's about it for me.
What's that been like? Because obviously, with the whole coronavirus and air flight, I'm kind of ignorant to what that world might be kind of like right now. What is that all about?
Yeah, that's got to be a big challenge for you so far, hey?
Yeah, definitely. It's been a challenge, just making sure that, even our facility remains safe. We have a lot of precautions in place to make sure everyone's healthy.
Yeah.
Also, it started off with the whole COVID-19. Air traffic was a lot slower, but it's good to see the numbers starting to pick up for the amount of flights. But it's still nowhere close to where it used to be.
Yeah, I'm sure that you guys have had to ramp down accordingly, which is probably a good thing for the best. But it's great still that even, and we take it for granted sometimes. We have a job, and that a lot of people are out of work right now. So the fact that you have been able to maintain your job, and us too, it's we gotta be appreciative of that, even though it's not in the best of conditions right now,
Absolutely.
All right. Another thing when we were doing our background, Chris, is we noticed that you didn't come from a baseball background.
No.
So
you're a bit of a soccer family from what I read, man.
Yes. When I was a kid, I loved baseball, but I never really played organized baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of taught myself the rules when I was a bit younger. But yeah, soccer was my main sport when I was growing up.
Yeah.
And, actually, that was Austin's first sport. He got onto the YMCA soccer team when he was, I think, about 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
But T-ball was going to be the secondary. The whole baseball round was going to be the secondary. And, we seem to excel a little bit better at the baseball than the soccer.
Yeah, well, no kidding. I was actually very, very similar in the sense like soccer was always my sport growing up, and I played a lot of soccer and stuff, but clearly not the right sport for Austin, you know, as we've seen. Well, who knows? Maybe he would have been a soccer pro.
You never know. You never know.
That's quite possible.
Yeah. And was there a moment when you were growing up? Was it Austin's decision to be like, hey, you know, Dad, I really like this baseball thing, or what? How did that kind of work out?
Well, when we were playing with the YMCA, soccer finished. He started t-ball, and right at the end of the t-ball season, there's a woman that walked up to me, and she said, "I don't want to see your son out here ever again." And it threw me off guard.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, what happened? What did we do wrong?" And she just said, "There's nothing we can really teach him." And she kind of gave me a couple of numbers to call and to get him onto, I think the local baseball where we lived at the time was Pony League, which is similar to Little League.
Yeah.
And, that was kind of where he transitioned more towards the baseball, and then the soccer became more of just something he did for fun with friends and stuff. So.
And sorry, like, how old was he at this time?
At that time, he was, I want to say he was about 4 when that happened.
Wow. Wow.
He was 18 months old. This is the craziest story, and I've told people this, and hardly anyone believes it, but at 18 months, he was, sitting in the living room, and he had one of those little ball, ball pools, whatever, the little plastic balls.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He had, like, a little plastic stick, and he was able to, like, just do his own self-toss, and he was hitting, so...
And this guy's 18 months old. Wow.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy to have an 18-month-old with that kind of eye-hand coordination, but he's always been pretty advanced. He was walking when he was 8.5 to 9 months old.
Wow, that's incredible. Like, at a young age, like, noticing that, like, you got to think that there's something special going on here. And I was gonna ask, like, what was there ever a moment growing up? Once you started taking baseball more head on, was there ever a moment where you realized that he actually has a legitimate shot to get drafted into the MLB?
That's true, yeah. Like, because obviously, like you hear this stuff and about your kid being good, but then like there must have been a moment for you when you realized, like, as a father, like, holy moly, my kid is killer at this sport.
When he was about 11, we sat down and had a serious conversation, and I asked him, what he wanted to do with his future.
Yeah.
And he told me that he wanted to be a pro baseball player. And even up to that time, he was always pretty good. But I made it a deal with him that if that's the route he wanted to go, I would do everything possible to open up whatever opportunities I could for him. And at that time, he took his skills to the next level. He was practicing nonstop. I mean, if he didn't have a glove or a bat in his hand, it was the only time when he would eat dinner or something.
Wow.
And right after that point, he just continued to work harder. And that's when I kind of had a feeling. I'm like, he definitely has the tools to make it far in the sport.
Has he always been, like that driven and that motivated? Because I'm thinking back to myself when I was 11 years old, and like the way that you're speaking about him with baseball, like, I didn't have anything that I was like even remotely like driven towards a goal like that. But like Austin just sounds like he was just like competitive,
Extremely. He's definitely one of the most competitive men I know. And probably right around the age of 11 or 12 is when I had to stop competing against him. He constantly put me ball or playing video games, that's when I had to hang up my title.
Just let him take off, let him do his thing. I think that's honestly the best way to go about it. He's got that passion, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I want to transition a bit, my friend, like, because it seems like he was like this had been something that you guys were talking about for a while. We did a bit of research, and I didn't know this until today, actually, when I was looking it up, but I didn't realize that in 2017 he was drafted by Cleveland.
Yes. He was drafted by Cleveland out of high school. And he actually had a conversation with me where he was kind of on the fence as to if he should go to Vanderbilt or if he should go into the draft and go that direction.
Was he already accepted into Vanderbilt at the time before the draft?
Yeah, he had an offer to go to Vanderbilt. I believe, I think it was around November or December of 2016. We went out for a formal visit, and he just fell in love with the campus. Coach Corbin was absolutely amazing, and he felt completely at home. So it was a tough decision for him at the time, but about a month prior to the draft, I think maybe 1 or 2 months, he went and spoke with Coach Corbin again, and he came back. He said, "Dad, my decision is I'm just going to go this route. I'm going to go to Vanderbilt, and I think that's the best decision for me right now." And I was 100%, with him on that. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you look at what he was capable of and what he did accomplish while he was at that school, like, obviously it definitely paid off for him. I saw that today and I was like, wow, I had no idea. But as a young kid exiting high school, that would have been a really big choice. So, like the fact that, you have been so supportive to him, and like you guys worked through that together, like that is admirable, brother.
Yeah. And now, obviously, we move forward to today's era in 2020, and he's in the draft again, and he's selected 5th overall by the Toronto Blue Jays. And we were so happy. I remember like literally working at a wine shop at the time and getting the update on my phone. I'm like, wait, he fell to us?
Yeah.
I was like, this is amazing.
I mean, you know that you have like, or that your team has a special player when they're drafted 5th overall and the headline reads Austin Martin biggest steal of the draft.
Yeah.
So like obviously we feel great about it.
Yeah.
How do you and Austin feel about coming to Toronto?
Yeah, and like being in the one Canadian team, like in a different country, like what does this all mean?
Well, I was really excited that he had the opportunity to be drafted, and Canada is still one of the places that's on my list to come visit. So when Toronto drafted him, I was pretty excited. Still am pretty excited when everything calms down to be able to see such a beautiful country and a beautiful city of Toronto. Austin was very excited to go to Toronto as well. He has a former teammate that he played with on Vanderbilt, with Phil Clark, who was drafted the year prior to Toronto, and then also with Bo Bichette being up there. He and Bo played together on one of the Central Florida teams when they were between 7 and 9 years old.
Wow.
So he was really excited to go up there. He sees the potential. He hears nothing but great things about the organization. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we're so excited to have him being in that mix of that young core, like you said, Bo Bichette, you got Kevin Biggio, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I could go on for almost ever about the potential.
It's also like great that he knows a couple of these guys.
Yeah.
Like you said, like someone from Vanderbilt, we picked them a year prior. and I'm sure that they will be able to help him kind of adjust to our system and to the organization as a whole.
And have you,
Absolutely.
Chris, have you ever been to Toronto?
No. I'm really excited to see when Austin advances and is able to join the big leagues.
Yeah.
To be able to come up in there and take in some of the sights and the home games.
Oh yeah, man! It's one of my. I mean, I could be biased because we're from around the area, but I gotta say, like, Toronto's such a lovely city with diverse people and just an overall welcoming community, and we're so happy for you guys to experience that.
Yes, I definitely look forward to it.
I think I feel like I have like one more question for you. It's like we always talk a lot about like the challenges of someone like Austin Martin, who is a budding superstar in his sport, and we focus a lot on that. But something that doesn't always get brought to the major limelight is the parents, and I can only imagine that there must have been a lot of challenges for you as a father, raising a budding superstar. Do you want to speak a little bit on that?
Yeah, what kind of stories or moments were the downs maybe of like raising a child being this competitive and driven to be great?
It's been fun. It's been fun. It does consume a lot of your time to be able to take him around to all of the tournaments when he was growing up. Let's see, one of the, I guess, pivotal moments when he was, say, maybe 6 years old. He was on a travel team, and we ended up going to Georgia for a tournament, and the team acquired a couple of older players because often he was 6, but he was playing on an 8U team.
Right.
And they acquired a couple of other players for this tournament, and he ended up sitting the bench most of the tournament. But he was still the one that was on the bench cheering for his team. One of the players that they acquired when he was on that team, he wasn't doing so well in several of the games, and Austin was on the bench when he returned to the bench after striking out. I actually remember seeing Austin go over, put his arm around him, and just telling him, it's going to be okay, you're going to get it the next time. When we got back from that tournament, it was part of my mission to see what Austin and I can work on, with baseball, to get him to a point where he didn't miss the opportunity of playing on a team or with a team again. So that was definitely one of the most memorable, pivotal moments in his baseball.
Yeah.
Everything else has just been, it consumes a lot of time, but it's very rewarding to be able to see everything that he's had the opportunity of doing and participating in. So.
Yeah, man, like that speaks to a lot of, like, even at that young age of 6 years old, like, they have the character to be always like having that team mentality of picking up your teammates right when they get off the bench or get back from the bench. Like, they like, honestly, like, I'm really impressed. Like, I should have one more question for you from my end. I want to ask, because you're raising Austin and your daughters, and is there anything that you've kind of instilled to all of them, like any core values that you've seen them kind of take and run with, that you've kind of taught them throughout their lives, or do they pick it up somewhere else?
I've always instilled for them to work hard in everything that they do. Don't expect things to be given to you. And it's been fun to watch both of them apply that to Austin with his baseball and my younger daughter with her academics and and helping to motivate our kids to pursue whatever it is that they want to do in the future.
Of course.
But definitely work hard and don't expect things to be handed to you.
Yeah, and you know what? Also, too, it's like cannot take anything away from what they have done as well. Like they are their own individuals, and they are out there killing it. Man, I've always thought that the best athletes, not only just athletes, but like the best at anything, they always end up being a lot of the times the best people in general. Like you take them outside of that sport and they're a great person. You take them outside of their craft and they're a great person. And it really sounds like Austin Martin, from what you've talked about, is not only a great baseball player, but a phenomenal person.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more, and that's not even being a little biased.
That's amazing, Chris. Chris, I think that's all we have for our questions today. Like, again, thank you so much for coming on the phone and chatting with us. Mm-hmm. We can't wait for you to finally come to Toronto once everything passes over.
Yeah, man. We would, whenever that does happen, it will be quite a while from now, but whenever that does happen, we would love to, take you out for a beer sometime, show you around.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for coming on, man.
Yeah,
we really liked it. At some point, it would be lovely to have Austin on here, but I know that he is a busy man, as are you. But thank you so much for your time, and we will let you know when the podcast comes out, brother.
Excellent. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Chris.
Bye. That was awesome.
Love it. Love talking to people who just have great mentalities and great mindsets and really just diving in there and just hearing the stories that you don't really get to hear when Austin Martin's going to be putting up big numbers in the league. These are the stories that are going to honestly, they touch me, and I love hearing them.
Well, I mean, it's cool to know really who's on your team. Where did they come from? Like, we know their statistics, and I could speak days on what Vladimir Guerrero Jr. did in the minors or anything like that. But we have this young guy. He's coming up. We've heard a lot about him on the baseball side of things. Haven't heard a lot about him elsewhere. So I'm super happy that we got his dad on here. We got to learn a bit more, and I truly feel a little bit more connected to Austin Martin now.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see this guy play. It'll be in 2021 when those buzzing rumors start coming. Is he going to get called up?
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to be the ones that will provide you all those details on Blue Jays Today.
Guys, comment down below. The only thing I want to hear is a 1 from 10. How excited are you for Austin Martin? And the answer better be 12. Thank you so much for watching, folks.
And go Jays, go.